got the download yesterday. And I've got 3 witnesses in the Word of God for my stand here. The first is Mark 11:23-24. And Jesus replying said to them, have faith in God constantly. Truly I tell you, whoever says to this mountain, be lifted up and thrown into the sea, and does not doubt at all in his heart, but believes that what he says will take place, it will be done for him. Romans 10:10, for with the heart a person believes and so is justified, and with the mouth he confesses and confirms his salvation. What you believe here, you speak out, and it happens. Amen. That's the way the kingdom rolls. Romans 4:17. I've got 2. I've got the King James and the Amplified. In King James it says, that is, as it is written, I have made thee a father of many nations, before him whom he believed, even God, who quickens the dead and calls those things that be not as though they are. And the Amplified says, who gives life to the dead and speaks of the non-existent things that he has foretold and promised as if they already existed. Amen. Because God is faith. Yeah. He's faith. He's love. He's faith. That's who he is. And so he always sees the end result. And that's the way we're supposed to be, because we're his image bearers. We're created in his image to do the very thing he did. Yeah. But so many people live far below what he's given us to do. Yeah. He's made available for us to do. So, let's pray. I'm going to pray and ask the Lord. Father, I come before you in Jesus' name. Jesus, I ask that you to come and be with me as I speak your word. Holy Spirit, I yield my tongue and ask that you would speak the heart of the Lord into the hearts of the people here. Lord, that they can get hope in moving the mountains in their lives and get victory to not just exist but to thrive. Father, I ask this in the name of Jesus. Amen. Amen. So what is a mountain? A mountain is anything that fills your visual field to the point where God is hidden. Say it again. A mountain is anything that fills your vision, your visual field to the point where God is hidden. I got my mind. Sorry. Okay, so a mountain is a debt that you can't pay with your current resources. A mountain is a terminal illness diagnosis. A mountain is your spouse leaving you for someone else. A mountain is a child going down the wrong road and won't listen to you. A mountain is an estranged loved one who won't forgive you. A mountain is an inner wound so deep you can't get past it. Right. So how do we move the mountain as Jesus says for us to do? We have to believe God. You have to believe God. We have to look at the mountain the way God does. We have to get the vision of a minimized mountain so we can move it in Jesus' name. Because if it fills your vision where you can't see God, you can't have the faith to speak to it and move it. Amen. So you have to see God as bigger than the mountain. Yeah. So you have to minimize the mountain, and God needs to get bigger. Yeah. And you get that through his perspective. Yeah. Looking at it the way he does. Yeah. So God's perspective, getting God's perspective is he is faith. He knows no other way to be. He's the master craftsman. He always sees the desired end result. If you think about artists, or think about God as a master potter, everybody's heard that analogy, where God is the master potter and he's got this big lump of clay that he's going to form into something, but he's not looking at that clay. He's looking at what he sees. He's looking at the vision of what he's trying to accomplish. Right. So that's what we have to do. You know, so when he can form it with his eyes closed, because he's not looking at that, he's looking at his vision.
Right.
And artists that get in front of a canvas, they don't look at the blank canvas. They have a vision
Right.
of what they're trying to accomplish. So that's getting God's perspective. If you have a mountain of debt, you have to start looking at it through God's eyes. A mountain of debt is nothing to Him.
Right.
It's not that big a deal. He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills.
Right.
So when He's bigger than your mountain, and you're more confident because of the relationship, you can say, you can move it out of the way based on your relationship with Him. It all goes back
Yeah.
to the intimate relationship. It's like everything gets back to that. That's what I'm finding out.
Amen.
So we're going to talk about how to apply it, because you can talk about theories all the time, but how do you do it? That's my thing.
Right.
Amen.
When I write books, it's always like mechanical way. Okay, here's what you need to do this. And
Yeah.
that's what I want to share. So God's perspective comes through time spent in His presence,
Yeah.
in your intimate, secret place. This has to be a priority in your life.
Yeah.
It has to be. If you don't have one, you need to get one. If you have one, you need to go there a lot.
Yeah.
You need, because unless you know Him and His voice, you're not going to be able to believe.
Yeah.
Because that's what this is all about, is believing here, because it's not a formula.
Right.
Amen.
It's not a formula. Okay, if I do this, and this will happen. No, it's here.
Yeah.
This is where faith is. Faith is not here. Faith comes out of your mouth, but it comes from here.
Right.
So, here's what I started doing, and I watched it bear fruit. I started telling Him my dreams of this problem being gone. And that's what I do to this day. He'll say, tell me, what would you do with your pan? I mean, He had me go through my whole house and say, okay, Lord. And I told Him my dream about a washroom. And some of y'all have heard my testimony about this. But I would sit down on the front porch of my coffee and go, well, Lord, if I had this washroom out there, I could make the current washroom a pantry, a walk-in pantry where I could just, instead of trying to fit in one cupboard, So I had my back bedroom as my walk-in pantry. He wanted the back bedroom as a guest room because He was going to bring people. So what did He do? He moved on my niece. She made a deal. I don't know how she did it. But I have a washroom off the back of my trailer that probably cost $5,000 to build.
Praise God.
Complete with a back porch and a shingle roof.
Yeah.
I mean, He did it. He did it because I was dreaming and I could see it. And so I would just thank Him. Lord, I thank You that one day that's going to happen. The same thing with my shed. I was saying, if I had a shed, Lord, then I could do this, this, and this. And I would just thank Him, and I could see it. I could see my shed. What happens? Shane and Farrah said, we have the shed God told us to give you.
Amen. Praise
They
God.
painted it. It's probably worth $3,000. You need a shed. Sheds aren't cheap.
Amen.
And they painted it. I mean, it's like a brand new shed. Brought it, set it up. That probably cost several $100s just to set it up. And my front porch, that was a dream. All I had was a stoop. And I go, and I was looking at Kayla's front porch, and she was moving to her house. And I said, well, she probably wanted $1,500. Well, what do you say? Thank you, Lord, that I would have. What happens? God told me to give you my front porch.
Praise God.
So Pastor went and got it with the tractor, and me and Katie were counterweights, and
Yeah.
he needed that. He needed counterweight. We sat on the back of the tractor and hauled it and put it right in front of my house. And so I have the dreams that I would talk to Him about.
Praise God.
Yeah.
So your mountain You can talk about your mountain to the Lord.
Ooh, amen. Hey.
What would it look like if it wasn't there?
Yeah.
What would it look like
Praise
if
God.
your mountain wasn't there? And I've dreamed this.
Yeah.
Really on you. I've dreamed this. I'd be on the front porch and the Lord would say, what would you do, Micki, if you had no debt? I could go on vacation. You know, I could buy $100 of groceries a week. You know, and so I just started going on about what I would do. I could give tithe money. I could give my full amount of tithe. And I would just go on, and I have since been given an extra $1,000 a month.
Praise
A job
God.
opened up that was closed. He opened it.
Praise God.
And there's another opportunity for another one that I'm going to apply for this week. I believe he's going to open it.
God. Amen.
He's going to open it because once I dream it, I thank him.
Yeah.
Because when you thank somebody, you've already got it.
Right.
That's faith. You already have. You're calling those things that be not
Yeah.
as though they are. You act like you already have it.
Amen.
So I've gotten way ahead of myself. But it's a short message. But okay, so I'm going to talk about God's perspective. His perspective comes through time spent in His presence. You telling Him your dreams. Then you want to pursue the vision of no mountain. Like I said, no mountain. When you see it in your spirit as a reality,
Yeah.
tell it to move.
Amen. Yeah.
Because God is now bigger than the mountain.
Yeah.
I mean, how many in here has had a mountain that you're just like, oh, I can't do nothing about this. But God can.
Right.
Your God is great. Your God is big.
Yeah.
And then thank Him every day for the desired end result. You thank Him for what's already done, even though you don't see it. It's like I said before. You have the title deed. Hebrews 11:1. Like I told y'all before about the Corvette in the driveway. Somebody comes and gives you a Corvette, but they say, well, I can't deliver it for a month, but here's the deed. You own the Corvette,
Right.
Right.
even though it's not your driveway.
Right.
That's right.
You are the proud owner of a Corvette. And if somebody else takes it, they can be put in jail because you have the deed.
Right.
You have the title.
Yeah.
So that's faith.
Amen.
That's calling those things as be not, that are not as though they are. So here's some things I want you to remember. You can't have faith in God without an intimate relationship. Like I said, it's not a formula. The linchpin of moving the mountain is this relationship.
Yeah.
The closer you get to God, the more you're going to know His voice, the more you're going to recognize His voice, and the more you're confident you're going to be that He's willing and able to move the mountain toward you. So you must see the mountain gone from your life. You can call those things that be not as though they are. When you believe it is a reality, it will be a reality.
Amen.
So what are the results if you do this? You'll see the mountain move if you think not.
Yeah.
Because how many of you know the waves are going to get bigger? When you make a stand,
Yeah.
the waves are going to get higher. I mean, just this week, I got knocked down because for 5 months I've been working out every day, trying to lose weight. And I buy a pair of jeans in the size I've been buying forever, and I don't fit into them. I can't fit into them.
I think some of these companies play pranks on us. They shrink them down.
I don't
save
know,
them.
but it's like I couldn't get them over my belly. I'm like,
For real.
I've tried multiple pairs of the same size, same company, and it fit different.
oh, I was so discouraged. No, so I'm going to Ricky's.
Same size as at the house.
I'm getting a burger.
Yeah. That really helped them.
I know, but I was like, I haven't worked out yet. But I'm back on track. I repented. I said, okay, Lord, I kind of lost the ball there. But I'm looking, because see, I'm working this out for my mountains. And my mountain is I want to get below the 200-pound barrier
Amen.
that I've been fighting for 20 years. I want to garden, and I can't garden weighing 240 pounds. My feet hurt. So I want to get healthy so that I can do stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm halfway disabled because of this. So God is going to make this happen for me.
Amen.
And so I'm dreaming about it.
Amen.
And I'm thanking Him for it.
Amen.
Amen.
And it's going to happen.
Yes.
6 months from now, you go, wow, look.
Do they have a sauna at the East Coast thing that you go to?
Huh?
Do they have a sauna over there?
Oh, at the gym?
Yeah.
No, I wish.
That's a really good way to lose
That's a
weight.
good
And
way.
You're not actually doing anything, you're just sitting there.
You're sitting there sweating. But the sauna's good for you. No, they don't. They have a tanning bed. They don't have a sauna. Yeah, I don't care about that anymore. And then the last thing is you must be immovable in your faith.
Right.
What I call the immovable position. You cannot walk on the water when you're considering how high the waves are.
Right. Amen.
Yes.
Well, look at Peter. I mean, at least Peter got out of the boat, and he was doing fine until he looked at the waves. He was walking on the water.
Yeah.
He was doing it. He could have walked all the way across the sea with Jesus if he wouldn't have looked at the waves.
Right.
Amen.
That was his destiny.
Yeah. Consider not the deadness of your womb.
That's right. Consider not. So here's some results. Your relationship with Him will increase in intimacy and confidence. You will have gained stature in your faith. What do I mean by that? When you win something, when you receive something, when you get a victory, nobody can take it from you because it's an experience.
Yeah.
It's something that's part of your life now.
Yeah.
The devil can't take it from you. He cannot take away that ground that you gained. It's like you're climbing a mountain. Okay, I got to this level. You're there. You're at that level, and that's it.
Right.
And so each time you gain ground, the devil gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And so each time he throws something at you for a mountain, it's like, oh, your confidence. You just got,
Yeah.
I don't have to take this.
Amen.
You know, you gain the ground. You've gotten the spiritual stature.
Right.
You're getting a reputation in the spirit realm where the devil's going, I don't know if that's going to work. We may have to regroup on that. You know, he's always looking. He's relentless.
Right.
But once you gain that ground, it's gained. Nobody can take it from you. Jesus said all things are possible to him who believes. So whatever level of intimacy you have with the Lord, make the decision to go deeper.
Yeah.
Remember, there's no end. There's no end to Him. We can all go deeper. No matter how intimate your relationship is, you can always go deeper. If you can believe it, you can have it.
Yeah. Amen.
So His perspective, you have to get His, like Pastor Katie says, the single eye. If you think about Adam, I'm going to close with this. Adam didn't have any other perspective but God's. So it only took a mustard seed of faith for Adam to say, well, I really don't want that mountain there. I would like a field of flowers there. So he would say, mountain, go to the sea. It would go.
Right.
How do we know this? Because Jesus said it.
Yeah.
Jesus said, if you have faith as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain and not doubt in your heart, you can say and it'll go.
Yeah.
Where did he get that analogy? I think because he was in the garden, he's God.
Yeah.
He watched Adam
Yeah.
make those changes.
Yeah. And there's mountains in the sea.
And there's mountains in the sea. There are mountain ranges in the
In
sea.
the sea.
Yeah.
Because God gave Adam complete dominion.
Yeah.
That's right.
Complete dominion. As perfect as it was, God just found joy in Adam saying, well, I'm going to do this. He loved that.
Right.
Watching Adam use his faith to tend the garden.
Right.
That's why the curse of, now you gotta deal with the sweat of your brow. He didn't have to do that before.
That's
Right,
He just spoke it and it was.
right,
Amen. Amen.
because he had the
He
God's
had
perspective.
God's perspective. He didn't have the double vision we have now.
Right.
But when they fell and ate the fruit, it's in the earth. And so, but Jesus got it back, but it's not automatic.
Right,
Well, the Lord keeps saying over and over to me is sanctified imagination.
Yeah,
One of the first things the enemy steals as a child is your imagination.
they go after, he goes after your identity.
Well, and, but he goes off to, like, you know,
Mhm.
you can watch kids about 4, 5, 6, super imaginative. You compare that to a kid who's 8 or 9 or 10. They can do it some, but it's just not the same. The enemy loves to steal imagination.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of, you know, Einstein said that imagination is more powerful than intelligence. If you would just let
It is, because if you can see it, you
Right.
can believe it.
Right.
Right.
And
If
so
you can
he's
see it,
saying,
you can believe it.
he's saying, you know, imagine with me. Imagine
Yeah,
what it looks
imagine.
like. And it's not dreaming, it's not wistful, it's not, you know, oh, well, you know, maybe. It's powerful. That's what he did.
Mhm.
He closed his eyes and he saw us. He imagined
He
us
does. He saw
before he
us.
created us. And so, it's not silly.
No, it's not. It's a powerful truth.
Right.
That you're not really wishing when you're telling him your dreams.
Right.
You're just speaking it out, and I'm telling you, words are powerful.
Right.
I'm talking about not silently. When you're out having coffee with him, just talking in your intimate place.
Right.
I've had him over and over again. Tell me what you do if you have this.
Well, when
What
I
did you
started,
do? You know, and he does that.
when I started the business, there wasn't anybody, any bank, anywhere, anybody, anywhere, who would take me seriously if I did not have a vision for my business.
That's right.
The first thing they said is, what is your vision?
What is your
And
vision?
they didn't want to know, you want to open a pediatric clinic. They wanted to know down to what flavor of coffee you were going to serve and what color your walls were going to be
Mhm.
and how many patients a day you were going to see. Do you have the vision? Because they're not going to pay into you to create something that you can't even see
Right.
yourself.
right.
Right.
So that's what I
Because,
feel
yeah.
like God is saying. You have to get the vision.
You have to see it the way he sees it.
Right.
Already in existence.
Amen.
So, amen.
Amen.
Amen.